I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. So today's video is basically the best winter aesthetic procedures to do. There are many benefits to winter. There are many cons to winter too, especially for us. With us, we tend to have less vitamin D in our system. This can affect our mood, it can affect our joints, it can affect our muscles. This is why I basically made my collagen drink and I put in vitamin D in it just to make sure that I'm getting my vitamin D, because it affects skin of color more than Caucasians. As you know, this entire channel has been dedicated to skin of color because our skin is different. Our melanocytes are larger, they are easier to trigger. As I always say, one scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we hyperpigment. We cannot afford to irritate our skin. So actually, when it comes to winter, it's quite good because inflammatory procedures that we do in office work best in winter. So you may as well use the winter while we can. If that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. So the key benefit with winter is, number one, there's less UV. If you look at the UV index in the summer versus the winter, it's a lot lower. So this means that we have less free radicals less UV hitting the skin, less free radicals being generated in the skin, and less damage of collagen taking place. So these are all good things when you want to do an inflammatory procedure to the skin. In addition, we tend to have more cool air on the skin, which can be more soothing to the skin. We tend to also cover up more, so we're protected from pollution and the environmental assault that tends to take place, which can also be great for the body. So let's start off with the first one I would highly recommend, and that is your Nd:YAG hair removal laser. So I like Soprano Ice, so that's one that I tend to recommend specifically for skin of color. And the way it works is basically long wave laser will bypass the basal layer and get into the dermis, which is where the follicle lives of the hair follicle. And so it damages the hair follicle, and so that hair will fall out and you have less hair growth. The problem is that if you're tanned, then there's less differentiation between the color of the hair and the skin, and so your skin can burn and lead to hyperpigmentation. So you do not want a tan when you're getting your laser done, and this is why winter time is great. Plus, you need about 4 to 6 weeks of not tanning as well after that, which means that actually if you do it in the winter, then by summer your skin is feeling a lot smoother and a lot less hair, especially for someone like me who has thick hair growth. The second procedure I would recommend are to get your chemical peels done in the winter. So what that has many benefits, but you have to be very careful. I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to chemical peels because some are not suitable for us, but some are great for us. So chemical peels basically remove the top layer of dead skin, but there are lots of things that happen with that. Immediately your skin looks brighter, immediately pigmentation looks reduced, fine lines tend to soften. In addition, texture and scarring can also look improved. So what is a chemical peel? It's a controlled chemical reaction that's happening on the skin. This can lead to inflammation and irritation of the skin. And this is why it's so important to stay away from UV, to stay indoors. And actually, this is why it works so well in the winter. So with a chemical peel, often your skin will peel and flake and become more sensitive to UV. So in the winter, when the UV index is lower, your skin is going to be less sensitive, which is so important for skin of color. However, remember that when it's cold, you actually tend to have more water loss from the skin. So actually what I want you to make sure you're doing with a chemical peel is wearing your fatty moisturizer, your safe moisturizer, in order to create a barrier on the skin and allow your skin to recover. In addition, your skin is going to be more sensitive to UV, so please, please, please make sure you're wearing your SPF 50 without fail. So the moisturizer that I would recommend here would be Cera-Pep. It's a fatty moisturizer, and I would tell you to actually wear it 3 to 4 times a day. I actually bumped into a lady it was a Women Empowered conference, and she just peeled her skin, and it was cold and she was out, and her skin felt very tight, very uncomfortable, and I told her actually to wear her Cera-Pep 3 or 4 times a day with her Inzincable on top, so her mineral SPF 50 on top. And within a couple of days her skin was feeling so much better. She was feeling a lot more confident, and actually it promotes the shedding of skin faster. When it comes to choosing which chemical peel to use, I would always opt for lactic acid or mandelic acid. I would avoid high percentage glycolic acid. And I definitely avoid TCA. So with glycolic, I think it's a bit of a sensitive topic because a lot of people do glycolic acid. It's just not my preference. It's just that I've seen burns happen from it. I've seen hot spots happen from it because it's such a tiny molecule. And if you don't neutralize it, that can lead to pigmentation. Winter's also a good time to get your neck lifts or facelifts done if that's something you've been thinking about, because it's easier to hide your scars. Scars tend to be behind the ears or under the chin. And actually, if you're wearing high neck tops and you're just in generally more often, it might be a good time to do it. Plus, you can get swelling and bruising with facelifts and neck tightening or neck lifts. And again, you want to be doing it at a time where people aren't out. There are some additional skincare tweaks you should be doing at home, specifically in the winter. So because the air is drier, you have more evaporation of water from the face. So I want you to use a barrier oil at nighttime. So this could be something like marula oil or squalene. I've actually today just filmed a video on slugging and using Vaseline on the skin. So you can watch that video if you get severe dry skin in the winter. I'd also say use a humidifier at night. Your skin will thank you, especially if you have central heating on. Everyone's faces looks tighter in the morning and your pores look bigger. Your skin just looks like it's aged overnight, which is not what I want for you. I want your skin to feel juicy and supple and plump. And that happens when you have humidity in the air. So I would invest in a humidifier at nighttime, specifically in the winter. I'd also say make sure you are applying your SPF 50 without fail. People, for some reason, think you don't need it in the winter. This is a mistake, because actually you're still getting free radicals being generated in the skin, damaging your collagen and leading to aging, which I absolutely don't want for any of us. I'm 38 right now, and I, every year I become more and more conscious about anti-aging. So I want you guys who are probably younger than me to be doing it from an earlier age than me. To learn more about aesthetic procedures, I've actually done a whole video on Botox, fillers, etc., which you can watch. You can also purchase Skin Revolution. This is a book I published with HarperCollins. It's available on Amazon, and the link for that is below. And to purchase my skincare routine, this is the Dr. Vanita Rattan daily range. It's specifically for anti-aging, anti-pigmentation for skin of color. So it's a very niche kit. It's got 16 actives in it, and the link for this is also down below. Don't forget, I am in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, so make sure you subscribe, but also hit that notification bell to make sure you can come and ask me your questions. Thank you so much, and let me know below which other videos I want me to make for you. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.